Sojourner Truth, an African American abolitionist and women's rights activist. In 1797, Elizabeth and James Buffrey gave birth to a baby girl by the name of Isabel. She was born in Oscar County, New York. She was born into slavery since her parents were slaves, so she witnessed things from the beginning of life. At a young age, she was sold, separating her from her family. She was sold twice because her owners either passed or didn't want her anymore. In 1815, she fell in love with a man by the name of Robert, but his owner would not allow them to be together or get married. This was only because he didn't want them to have any children because he would not be able to own them. In 1817, she was forced to marry another man by the name of Robert because her owner wanted her to have children so that he could basically own. She had 5 children with him, 4 girls and 1 boy. In 1826, she runs away from her slave owner because he went back on his word after telling her he would let her go early since she was being a good slave, since the Emancipation Proclamation was going to happen to end slavery anyways. So she ran away, but she was only able to take her daughter with her when she left since her other daughters were already sold to someone else. In 1827, when the Emancipation Proclamation happened and abolished slavery, she went back to get her son to find out that her previous owner sold him to a plantation in the South when he wasn't supposed to. She sued her previous owner and was the first African American to win against a white person in the court system. She was able to legally gain the freedom of her son Peter. In 1843, she changed her name from Isabel Buffrey to Sojourner Truth. In 1850, her first book was published, Narrative of Sojourner Truth. Even though she could not read or write since she didn't get a proper education growing up, she got her close friend to help her transcribe her thoughts so that everyone could read it. Her book talked about her life and was developed as a diary. In 1851, she went to Akron, Ohio, where she gave a free lecture at the Women's Rights Convention. This is where she got her most famous speech, Ain't I a Woman? She spoke about the women in the Bible, and she wanted to make women at the convention aware of the injustice they were facing and empower them to fight for a change. After the Civil War ended, Truth was asked to go to the Capitol to help work with the Freedmen's Bureau. At this time, she had the privilege of meeting Abraham Lincoln. She helped to create a program that would help ex-slaves find jobs so that they would be able to make a living, but they denied it. November 26, 1883, in Michigan, Truth died from an infection that started from sores in her legs, but her legacy still lives on today. Truth has a privilege of being on the Judy Chicago's International Honor Clip. Her triangle had 10 contributors that worked on it. The reason they picked her to honor was because she holds a permanent place in the struggle for human rights. A free black woman widely known for her courage, energy, and defense of women and of Afro-Americans. The colors that were used on her panel were warm. It uses orange, yellow, brown, and black. It shows a woman that has 2 different faces and they both have 2 different emotions. One was of her crying, which shows the pain that she went through during slavery. The other face is of someone being strong. She has her fist up showing she can get through anything and she's powerful. The name of her speech is Around the Faith. On the edges of the triangle where she delivered her speech in the committee who designed it. Sojourner Truth, a women's rights activist and African American abolitionist.